Alrighty guys, out here, I'm gonna build a set of manure forks for the skid steer. Need to clean cattle pen out and the backhoe's still down. We're waiting on parts, so the cattle are leaving this afternoon and I need to get the manure out of the pen so I can put this in where the cattle are for a month or two and get some other projects in the shop. I got a F450 Ford that's got to come in, got an oil leak. What else? And then I got a 4440 that's having trouble shifting between the, I think it's the 1, 2, 3, 4. You can slap shift to side, but then when you want to shift from like 2 up to 3, you got the 3 and 4 and then the 1 and 2, and when you want to go from that 2 to 3, it has trouble shifting there. And I think it's got a clutch pack that's not dumping all the oil. I'm hoping it's just a linkage adjustment, but we'll see. So I got to put a pressure gauge in it and check that. Let's see what else, and then maybe possibly a planter to work on. So got to get this out of here. Got parts ordered for the H. The original place I was going to get a crankshaft from didn't have, or they couldn't ever, they had a whole bunch of crankshafts, but they ended up all being cracked or they were already turned to the max limit and everything, and so had to went to a different place and ended up getting a crank and bearings and a gasket set from them. So that'll probably be here next week. Put these glasses on now, can't hardly even see. There's the hole punch. If you guys have never used hole saws before, these are Milwaukee, but I think about any of them will work to cut through steel. That's the best thing since sliced bread. You gotta get the pilot bit through first, and then got that through. Now we're gonna go in here with the voila, got a 3/4 hole now. First time I saw a hole saw used to cut steel, I thought this will never work, and then saw how fast you can cut a hole with them, and I was a believer ever since. Come on. There we go. There's 1 and 2, and I'm going to lay a piece of flat across here, which I punched holes in right there, and then weld some forks onto it and make them come out and hang over the edge here. Again, I can't hardly, there it is. I hope I grabbed that one in the right spot. Yeah, it looks right anyways. Sorry, I'm holding the glasses up here. I'm trying to see. There we go. These hole saws don't seem to be affected by running the drill bit too fast as compared to other drill bits. You know, like you can speed them up a lot more. Other drill bits, regular, if you're just running a regular drill bit, you gotta run them pretty slow, because otherwise you just burn the bit up. And I always spray lubricant on the bit, because if you spray lubricant on the steel like that, it'll actually cool the steel off too, which actually acts as a hardening process. So I always just spray it on the bit and then put the bit back in, because then in theory it's keeping the bit hard as you're cutting. hole saws are nasty to use though. They kind of want to go all over the place and throw chips everywhere, but they work good. So, well, I'll get that bolted in and get the, I think it's mentioned, 1/4 rod. I'm gonna cut and weld on there, and I'll come back to you and I'll do that. I already got 5 bucket teeth made. Cutting number 6 out right here. That's a handy little bandsaw. Thank you, Mr. Nate, for sending me that. That's pretty slick, because that the piece was. I could take 6 of them, put them all together, and trying to get over to the bandsaw would be kind of hard to do. Yeah, close enough. Not building a rocket here. Pretty low tech deal. Didn't quite cut that one long enough. Oh well, it'd be alright. Now I'm going to take, I want them to about touch the ground. So what I'm going to do is get a piece, that's a piece of 1/2 inch flat, and I'm going to get a piece of 1/4 inch and lay over here. I cut that hole in the bucket so that I can like move equipment around, like push the wagon in the shed and stuff for feed. Really handy, really handy for that. And so I'll probably just use that one hole and just put a piece like that just to kind of stabilize the prongs, just to weld it to. And then just have the one hole here, and then I was going to make 2 L clips that probably go out here that just kind of hang over the bucket, just to help stabilize it a little more. So you can kind of slide it on like that and then put the bolts in it. So, alright, I got some things got it all tacked together here. I got just one bolt in the center, and then these are still kind of flexible. Like if I'd stick the forks down into something and then try to pull the manure back to break it apart some more, I'm going to need something to kind of catch it when it's pulling this way on the forks. So what I'm doing here, I also got the bolt for the center ones, but then for the other 4 slots I just sheared off some pieces of 4x4 by 1/4 angle. I'm going to put that on there like that, weld that like I did this one, then I'll take the torch and heat it up and just take the hammer and just beat it to form to the bottom of the bucket, and then when I want to put this thing on, I just slide it on like that, put the bolts in, and away we go. Welding helmet. Hopefully I'll see what the heck I'm doing here, and you guys will too. Oh boy, that's dark. Come on. Now, oh boy, yeah. Now we'll give it a try here, see how it does. You guys are probably thinking, oh, I can see great, but the glasses are a little dark to look through. That don't look too bad for... You hear the water hissing off the bucket. Just kind of a swampy day out. Now we put a little more tack here on the front. Stuck a little better, that'll probably be alright. I'll heat that up with a torch and bend it around and come back to you when I go to finish welding all these in. Alrighty, here, manure forks ain't working out. They're working out pretty well. I'm fairly happy with them. As you can see, I can actually get something done now, as before I couldn't move any manure whatsoever. It just hit the front of that scoop and stopped. Can't take near as big as scoops, obviously, as a backhoe, but you can do it so much quicker. I'm just piling it right next here, and I'll scoop it up in a month or so, or whenever the ground freezes again. But I can just take a scoop so much quicker, and so I can move it about as quick as I can at the backhoe, so I'm fairly happy with it now. That stuff, I was thinking earlier when I was eating lunch, I could, if I ground up straw instead of, just having long strings of it, it'd probably scoop easier, but if you can get something that's enough weight, this moves it's pretty easy to pick this up. Pretty easy to dig into the ground with those forks, though. Come on. I think it might still be frozen right there. That's probably enough of watching me playing manure here, but that's what I did for the forks, and it seems to work alright, so, or good enough anyways. The guy texted and said that cattle weighed 1210 a piece average, 1,210 pounds live weight. They picked them up a couple hours ago. Don't know what the hanging weight is, won't know that for a week. Well, yeah, by tomorrow evening I'd probably know. But fed out about 80, I think I fed 515 bales this year, and I haven't figured up the corn yet. Probably somewhere around 90 bushel a head, I'd say. But I'll figure that up. So, anyway, thanks for watching.